Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Welcome, one and all, to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We come to you live from beautiful Haymarket Park here in Lincoln, Nebraska. This is Sam King thanking you for tuning in as the T-Bones come set in the second game in this three-game series, winning last night's action 4-3 thanks to the late heroics by Brett Wiley, who knocked a solo home run in the top of the ninth, which was the go-ahead run, and it was just enough for Mark Haynes to come in and shut the door, picking up his 12th save of the season. Mark Haynes was also announced as the lone representative for the T-Bones as part of the North team in the American Association All-Star Game. A big congratulations goes out to Mark. He's fought through a lot of troubles in his short career to this point, spending the previous 3 seasons in Laredo. In his first season in Kansas City, he becomes an All-Star. No better thing can be said for the man that has worked his butt off. Today's starting lineups for the T-Bones goes like this. Tyson Gillies leads things off, followed by Brett Wiley, Starlin Rodriguez, Jake Blackwood, Tyler Massey, Nate Tinbrink, Steve Swingle, Vladimir Frias, and Dalton Wheat. Tyson Gillies comes up now. Gillies went 2 for 4 yesterday and scored a run. First pitch in yesterday's action, he sent out to the warning track in right field for a leadoff double. He was brought home one batter later by Wiley. First pitch is on the outer half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike from Lincoln starter Ryan O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan comes into today's action. As the next pitch is outside, the count's even. He played his college ball at San Diego State University. And so far this season, he's 3-3 with an ERA of 5.23 in 53 1/3 innings. He struck out 34, walking 27. Low 1-1. Gillies fouls it off. Counts now 1-2. O'Sullivan went 23-24 with a 3.18 ERA, notching 10 saves or 348 and a third innings pitched in the Dodgers and Phillies organization from 2011 to 2015. He also played for the Estrellas de Oriente in the Dominican Winter League as Gillies chops a one-hopper to second. Earps to Allen for the first out. Ryan O'Sullivan is also part of the Joe Blanton trade between the Dodgers and the Phillies. Joe Blanton spent part of last season in the Kansas City Royals organization. Maybe it was the year before. I really kind of forget. But Brett Wiley comes into the plate now. Brett Wiley with the biggest day of them all yesterday, going 3 for 4. 4 for 5, I actually should say. That would be correct. Going 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run scored. First pitch strike is in there. Wiley also fell a triple shy of the cycle. So far on this road trip, Brett Wiley is batting a magnificent 4-11 as he pops the next pitch in the air. Coosdale coming in. But Jacobs will bring it in and left for the second out as that ball was hit a mile in the air. And that brings up Starlin Rodriguez in the spot that we usually see Jake Blackwood. Blackwood batting fourth today with no Anthony Gallus in the lineup. Rodriguez has been used in spot time during this road trip, but he is batting .315 in his 9 at-bats. First pitch is fouled down the third baseline. No balls, 1 strike. Rodriguez has also scored 4 runs, picking up 2 RBIs, and is currently running a 2-game hitting streak. Those 2 games were both multi-hit games. It'll be righty versus righty. Rodriguez not having the advantage. The 0-1 from Sullivan. Rodriguez chops it foul and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. So far this season, Starlin Rodriguez is batting .263 in 167 at-bats. He scored 23 runs while hitting 2 round trippers and knocking in 14 runs. Rodriguez fouls it 1 out. So he's currently in defense mode and stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes. Last time out for Ryan Sullivan was on July 13th. It's a home game against the Texas Airhogs, a game that Lincoln would win 10-1. O'Sullivan picked up the win, going 7 innings, giving up 1 run, 6 hits, 4 walks, and striking out 5 of the 30 batters faced. The 0-2. Rodriguez lunges for it and fouls it off and stays alive yet again. Elsewhere in the American Association, Laredo dropped 1 to Gary in 10 innings at U.S. Steel Yard, and that's the only one that has concluded. We're the only other one that's continued to play at this point, too, as St. Paul's at Winnipeg, Joplin at Sioux City, Wichita at Texas, Fargo at Sioux Falls. The 0-2 yet again from O'Sullivan is inside. Rodriguez thinking better of it. Counts now 1-2. Like I said, Kansas City winning yesterday's action 4-3 in the series opener. Evan DeLuca picked up the win. And Mark Haynes picked up his 12th save. Next pitch is way inside. Rodriguez drops the bat, steps out of the box. We're now even at 2. So that was some sweet chin music. A little closer, and he might have been able to taste the ball. This is O'Sullivan's first time against the T-Bones. The 2-2 is high and inside. Counts now full as Rodriguez has battled back from a no-ball, 2-strike count. On deck for Kansas City is number 10, Jake Blackwood. O'Sullivan reached Double-A last season in the Phillies organization, where he went 2 for 3 with an ERA of .239. The payoff pitch is chopped back to the mound. O'Sullivan steps off, collected throw, gets Rodriguez for the 3rd out. T-Bones go down in order, and we'll see the top of the lineup, Lincoln Salt Dogs, as they get things started in the second game of this series. And I want to stay tuned to that here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. The Lincoln Salt Dogs lineup will go like this. Robbie Coosdale, followed by Luis Allen, Brandon Jacobs, Renee Leverett, Austin Darby, Tyler Earps, Diner Morera, Ryan Wiggins, and Connor Takel. First pitch to Coosdale. He swings and misses at. No balls, 1 strike from his former teammate, Jordan Cooper. So far this season, Jordan Cooper is 3-2 with an ERA of .423. In his 10 starts, he struck out 29 while walking 19 in 57 1/3. Next pitch is high and outside. We're now even at 1. Last time Cooper was here at Lincoln, he took the loss in a 9-2 effort in that series finale, going 5 innings, giving up 5 runs, 8 hits, while walking 3 and striking out no one. Coosdale shows bunt, lays it down, but foul. Coosdale's behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coosdale, of course, starting the season with the T-Bones. He was our opening day leadoff hitter and started in left field. And so far with Lincoln alone, he's batting .328 and 64 at-bats, knocking in 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. In Jordan Cooper's last outing, which was on this road trip, as the 1-2 is high, we're now even at 2. Cooper went 6 1/3 in the T-Bones 4-2 win. He picked up the win, giving up 2 runs. Only 1 was earned, while allowing 6 hits, walking 1, and striking out 4 of the 26 batters he faced. The 2-2, Coosdale sends it a mile in the air, tailing out of play. Tinbrink still tracking it, but ends up in the second deck on the third baseline. Count remains even at 2. Jordan Cooper, spending his professional career with the Cleveland Indians organization after he was drafted in the 9th round of the 2010 draft out of Wichita State University. He spent time earlier this year in AA and AAA, which is Akron and Columbus, in the Indians organization as well. Last season, he was also in AA and AAA. As a 2-2, Coosdale sends a mile out to left center. Wynn brings it in. Rodriguez finds it and gloves it for the first out. That brings up Luis Allen. Allen was a thorn in the T-Bone's side last night. Granted, he did go 0 for 4, but he knocked in a run in the bottom of the 8th, which tied the game. Allen got the start behind the dish yesterday and moves to first base, which makes Ryan Wiggins the backstop now for the Salt Dogs. First pitch, righty versus righty, is high, 1-0. In 2015, during Cooper's time with AAA and AA, he went 4-6 with an ERA of .434, making 22 total appearances, 19 of those being starts. Picked up a save in 105 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 51 while walking 46. Allen calls time. He sends that shot out to shallow left center. That'll drop in front of Massey, and now Luis Allen is on with a 1-out single. Now comes up the former top 50 prospect in all of baseball in 2012 during his stint with the Boston Red Sox is Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs went 1 for 2 yesterday with a run scored and 2 walks. So far this season, he's batting .265. This is righty versus righty with a runner on first and 1 out. First pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. Along with batting .265, Jacobs has 1 home run and 14 RBIs. He's smashed at least 13 home runs in each of the past 5 seasons. As that hits him on the helmet, or does not, I guess he got out of the way in time. Home plate umpire not doing anything. Luis Allen advances to second, and what I'm guessing is just a wild pitch. I heard some form of contact, but I suppose not, as Allen's now on second with 1 out. Swingle will come out and talk to Cooper with that ball above the head of Jacobs. That could have been ugly, and that could have been ugly quickly. Very relatable crowd to what was here yesterday at Haymarket Park. Not a huge crowd, but not by any stretch a small crowd. The 2-0. Called strike, breaking ball in there at 86. Cooper working back into the count with the 2-1. With Jacobs' 13 home runs in each of the past 5 seasons. I highly doubt that streak's going to continue with his 1 home run as we're almost to the All-Star break. The 2-1. Jacob sends that to left center. That's deep. Rodriguez tracking it, though, and brings it on the warning track for the second out. Allen returns to second. Has 2 flyouts to Starlin Rodriguez are the first 2 outs of the game. That brings up the fan favorite here in Lincoln, Rene Leverett, and rightfully so, as he went 2 for 4 yesterday, picking up an RBI along the way, improving his average to .323, which is top 10 in the league. Lincoln had 4 players named to the All-Star game. He was not one of them. I'm not really sure how that happened, but they did have Kurt Smith, Lindsey Coggy, Evan Reed, and Luis Allen, who's on second. With 2 down, we're still scoreless. First pitch, righty versus righty, is outside on the slider, 1-0. Cooper taking his time. The 1-0's a breaking ball that just hits the right corner of the plate. 2-1 with the curveball clocked at 71. The 1-1 is low and outside. Cooper doing a good job of keeping the ball down. He's behind in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. This is a guy that you cannot give him anything to hit. That's low, called strike. Counts now even at 2. Rene Leverett does have a problem hitting the fastball inside. Anything out over the plate is probably out of the ballpark. He's a guy, you can't let him pull anything. And if you looked at him, you'd know why. As if you have a visualization of Pablo Sandoval, who played for the San Francisco Giants and now the Boston Red Sox, that's exactly what he looks like, even down to the number 48. He goes oppo. That's where he loses a lot of power. The 2-2, he goes oppo, sends it out to right field. Dalton Wheat charging, brings it in on the line drive. Lincoln picks up a hit. They strand the runner on second. We're still scoreless through 1 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. Jake Blackwood will get things started here in the second. For this entire road trip, Jake Blackwood has been batting third in the lineup, with Anthony Gallus typically fourth. Gallus has been struggling recently. He finds himself with a day off. Righty versus righty as O'Sullivan steps and fires. First pitch is a fastball, which is his best pitch on the inside half, called strike. No balls, one strike. Yesterday, Blackwood went 1 for 4, which was good enough to improve his hitting streak to 6 games. The 0-1 is outside. Wiggins tries to frame it behind the dish. Home plate umpire Joel Hispatka not falling for it. Today's umpires, like I said, behind home plate is Joel Hispatka. First base umpire Jordan Sandberg. Third base umpire is Brian Child. The 1-1. Fastball cuts on the outside. Too far outside. 2-1. On this road trip, Jake Blackwood is hitting .277. Like I said, he's currently riding a 6-game hitting streak, scoring 3 runs with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. All 3 of his home runs came during that 3-game series at Joplin. Fastball low. Blackwood has the hitter's count and a pitch to play with a 3-1. On deck for Kansas City is number 3, Tyler Massey. So far this season, Jake Blackwood is batting .259 with 10 home runs, which leads the team, and also another team leading 44 RBIs. The 3-1, Blackwood fouls it straight back. Now the count is full. Jake Blackwood is one of our guys that I think was just absolutely snubbed from the All-Star team. I mean, he leads our team with 10 home runs and RBIs, which are both top 10 in the league. He's had a very reliable glove at first. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on to make Mark Haynes our only one. Mark Haynes, nonetheless, deserves it more than most in the league as Blackwood walks. Here comes another guy that I think was snubbed, Tyler Massey. Last night, Massey went 1 for 4 as part of that T-Bones 4-3 victory, picking up an RBI along the way. So far this season, Massey is batting .285 with the team leading 33 runs scored with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. He sees the ball well with 23 walks. First pitch is sent out to right center. Coosdale on the horse. Covers a lot of ground and brings it in. Blackwood didn't think he could do it. He's halfway to second. One hopper to Coosdale to first. Gets Blackwood out on the double play as Robbie Coosdale throws out his former teammate all the way from deep right center on the one hopper. And that's 2 outs for Kansas City. As Ryan O'Sullivan getting some help from the former T-Bone, Robbie Coosdale. Robbie Coosdale, the former T-Bone, sticking it to his former team. That brings up Nate Tinbrink, who was activated from the disabled list yesterday and went 1 for 4 with a run scored. Lefty versus righty, Tinbrink being the lefty. First pitch, breaking ball low, 1-0. It's actually called strike. No balls, 1 strike. So I guess I should be the umpire. I guess not, depending on who was right. 99% of the time, I'm wrong, so I'll just give it to him. As Tinbrink swings and misses at 1 that he hoped to send to the bleachers on right field. Comes up empty, no balls, 2 strikes. So far this season, Tinbrink is batting .136 in 22 at-bats. He scored 4 runs along the way. The 0-2. Tinbrink sends out to his former buddy Coosdale in center. Coosdale squeezes it for the 3rd out. As the T-Bones go down 1-2-3 yet again. We're still scoreless through 1.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The former Nebraska Cornhusker will get things started against the former Shocker Jordan Cooper. Austin Darby steps in after going 0 for 3 yesterday with an RBI. First pitch, righty versus lefty, is fouled back by Darby. No balls, 1 strike. So far this season, Darby is batting .264 and 91 at bats with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. Infield playing him straight up, the 0-1. Darby tries to pull it and comes up empty. No balls, 2 strikes. This is Darby's rookie season for the Salt Dogs. His 5 RBIs on July 13th is the most by a Salt Dog so far in 2016. He was a 4-year starter during his time at Nebraska as well. Takes his time, the 0-2. Cooper steps, fires, and delivers. Hits high, the count's now 1-2. As I'm joined in the booth by Bob Hamilton, who is our travel liaison, and I guess that is my chief engineer today as well. Bob received some great news before the game from his daughter Scottney, who had just been accepted to the State Troopers program. As the Blue Brothers have seen some sorrow in the past week, it's good to have some good news coming from that direction. The count's now 2-2 to Darby. Best of luck to Scottney from all of us at the T-Bones as she continues her career in law enforcement. Full count now to Darby. The payoff pitch, Darby sends that to center field. Massey retreating, but not having to move very far, brings it in for the first out. That brings up the former Wichita wingnut, Tyler Earps. Last night, Earps got the nod at second base as well, going 0 for 2 while walking twice. He has struggled at the plate, batting .217 this season. He was acquired by the Salt Dogs in a trade with Wichita for a player to be named later on July 3rd. First pitch, righty versus lefty, Cooper being the righty. Earps sends a 2-hopper to the other second baseman, Brett Wiley, on the first pitch for the very quick second out. That brings up the shortstop for Lincoln, Diner Marrera. Marrera went 0 for 4, batting out of the 9-hole yesterday. He moves his way up to the 7-hole. He even had the advantage yesterday with 2 lefties being thrown by the T-Bones. First pitch is inside, 1-0. And now it's righty versus righty. He might just hit righties better. He was acquired by the Salt Dogs in a trade with Sioux Falls, clear back on June 28th. The 1-0, Diner Marrera pops it in the air. Tinbrink looking for it in the sun. Ball goes into the shade, and he finds it. For the quick second out is Jordan Cooper. Threw only 6 pitches in this inning to record 3 outs. And puts the Salt Dogs away. 1-2-3 in this inning. during this early pitchers duel here at Haymarket Park, as we're still scoreless through 2 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 19...
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. We'll see the bottom of the lineup for the T-Bones. Be the 7-8-9, Swingle, Frias, and Wheat. Steve Swingle gets things started today. He got the nod behind the dish yesterday as well and went 2 for 4, raising his average to 247. On this road trip, Swingle has batted .375, going 6 for 16 with 2 runs scored, a home run that happened in Laredo, and 3 RBIs. He's currently riding a 2-game hitting streak that's modest, but they got to start somewhere. First pitch, Swingle swings at one that's outside. No balls, 1 strike. So far this season, Steve Swingle is batting .247 with 8 runs scored and only 73 at-bats. Hit 2 round trippers and knocked in 8 runs. Next pitch is outside. Now we're even at 1. Swingle played his college ball. Started in the JUCO ranks in the ACCAC, where I actually played as well. Not baseball, but you know. Swingle spent his time as a Division II Mesa Community College. He was a Thunderbird as that's inside, 2-1. Then he made his way to Grand Canyon University and then finally Cameron University and now at the T-Bones. Swingle sends that out to left field. Jacobs retreating onto the track. He'll bring it in for the first out. In steps Vladimir Frias. Frias went 1 for 4 yesterday. He has struggled for the most part this season with the bat in his hand. So he's batting .219. On this road trip, though, he is batting .250, going 8 for 32 with 3 runs scored, a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 multi-hit games. And believe it or not, he is currently riding a 6-game hitting streak. First pitch, righty versus lefty with a switch hitting. Vladimir Frias has popped down the left field line and out of play. No balls, 1 strike. So far this season, Frias is batting .219 with 31 runs scored, 3 home runs, and 20 RBIs. The 0-1, Frias fouls off. That was in the other batter's box. He's behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Frias played his college ball at Tennessee Wesleyan. So he sits that out to right. That'll drop to the first T-Bone. That's in the gap. Frias going for 2. He'll be held up at second with a stand-up, 1-out double as he extends his hitting streak now to 7 games. That ball couldn't have been hit to any better spot as Austin Darby still had a great jump off the bat, but it just landed in what is the exact definition of right center, right between into that gap, rolled to the wall, and now Frias stands on second with Dalton Wheat up to the plate. Couldn't get that word out somehow. Last night, Dalton Wheat went 0 for 3. Righty versus lefty, first pitch. The breaking ball that touches the plate, but no call strike. 1-0. So far this season, Dalton Wheat is batting .288 in 80 at bats. He scored 7 runs with 16 RBIs. The 1-0. Wheat swings that one in that same spot. No ball, which counts now even at 1. So far on this road trip, Dalton Wheat has struggled. In only 16 at bats, he's 2 for 16, batting .125 with a run scored. Both of those hits were extra base hits, a double and a triple. The 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1, blocked by Wiggins. Frias, with a large lead at second, returns. Dalton Wheat started his college career, as he is a rookie this season, at Butler Community College. He played 2 years there and then made his way to Emporia State. He's a former Hornet. He fouls it back. Counts now even at 2. Back in Dalton Wheat's pro debut in Wichita. The speedster went 2 for 3. That's inside and blocked by Wiggins. Count goes full. Dalton Wheat was an all-MIAA outfielder at Emporia State. He sends that out to left field. Jacobs looking for it in the sun and squeezes it for the second out. That brings the top of the order, Tyson Gillies, up to plate. Gillies is 0 for 1 today after grounding out to second in the first. The first pitch to Gillies is outside, 1-0. Tyson Gillies was born with hearing loss, actually, but when he was almost 5 years old, by the time he was finally tested, he said he had people fooled his entire life because his lip reading had gotten so good. I haven't seen that affect any of his baseball, as he's batting .286 with the T-Bones in 42 at-bats. Wiggins on the back toss down to second. Frias dives back safely, almost gets away from Morera, but he grabs it. Counts now 2-0. Seattle Mariners originally signed Tyson Gillies in 2007, and then he was traded in a major deal to the Phillies in 2009. And what I believe was either the Cliff Lee or Roy Halladay trade. The 2-0 is low, 3-0. Gillies played his college ball at Iowa Western Community College in obviously Western Iowa. Duh. And then he was drafted after only a year there and has been playing professionally ever since, coming over to the T-Bones from Sugarland, which is in the Atlantic League. Counts now 3-0. So he has the ultimate freedom. The 3-0 is outside, and Gillies will walk. And I guess I can't really say walk about Gillies, as I've never really seen him walk. Because when he goes down to first, it's almost a dead sprint. He's one of those effort guys. You've got to just love watching him play. But that puts runners on first and second with 2 down. T-Bones threatening here in the third. That brings up Brett Wiley. Wiley, I said earlier that he went 3 for 4. He actually went 4 for 5 in yesterday's action with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs, raising his already very impressive average to 339. And I'm going to need somebody to explain to me how this young man did not make the All-Star team. Somebody call me, or you can tweet at me, at KingSam145, and tell me why you think Brett Wiley didn't make the All-Star team, and I'll just immediately shoot it down because it's going to be nonsense. First pitch to Wiley is on the outer half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Wiley played his junior college ball at Jefferson College in Hillsboro, Missouri. Wiley sends that to Marrera at short. The 2-hopper fires it over for the 6-3 putout, stranding 2 T-Bones on base. After a 1-out double by Vladimir Frias, he's left at second. We're still scoreless through 2.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As we'll see the bottom of the lineup, 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the T-Bones as Ryan Wiggins steps in. Wiggins has not seen action in this series so far, this only being the second game of course. But last season, he finished 6th on the Salt Dogs roster with 30 RBIs, committing only 3 errors. First pitch, righty versus righty, is on the outer half, called strike with a fastball, no balls, 1 strike. Wiggins played his first professional season in the Angels organization in 2014. He hit .282 for the Arizona League Angels, their rookie affiliate. Next pitch is a great 85-mile-an-hour cutter from Cooper, the 0-2. Wiggins spent his time in college playing at the University of Washington. The 0-2 is outside, 1-2, as I'm sure they set it up to be outside. I mean, it obviously went out a little farther than they hoped, as they just hoped to get Wiggins swinging. Wiggins does not bite. Count still, no balls, 2 strikes. And Wiggins will go down swinging for the first out. Connor Tako, the rookie out of Rice University, finds his way into the box now. Last night, Tako was up in the 2-hole and went 0 for 4. In his pro debut, he went 2 for 3, just like Dalton Wheat went 2 for 3 in his pro debut. First pitch, fastball in the outer half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. He walked twice on July 16th. He also hit an RBI double in his very first pro at-bat. Fastball low. We're now even at 1. Like I said, he played collegiately at Rice University. During his time there, he was a 3-time CUSA champion. In his 4 years there, he made the NCAA tournament all 4 years. Breaking ball low. Tackle ahead, 2 balls, 1 strike. During his career at Rice, he batted .274 with 90 RBIs and 207 at games. He's also named the NCAA All-Region team in 2016. He sends it out to left field. Rodriguez walking to the line, brings it in for the second out on the dead run. That brings up the top of the order with 2 down, Robbie Coosdale. The former T-Bone is 0 for 1 so far today after flying out to his all-hot corner in left field. Coosdale, of course, getting the start in left field for the T-Bones on opening day. And he made a home there at Community America Ballpark in front of the Mini Monster, as Tyler Massey has had a hold on the center fielder spot all season. Righty versus righty, first pitch. As a fastball in the lower half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Coosdale played his college ball at Valdosta State University. He also hit a career-high 10 home runs in 2015, last season with Kansas City, and he stole 30 bases the year before with the T-Bones as well. The 0-1, fastball in the outer half, called strike, no balls, 2 strike. Robbie Coosdale came up in the bottom of the 9th yesterday as Mark Haynes was on for the T-Bones with 2 down, and Mark Haynes threw him 2 splitters and a fastball, striking him out on 3 pitches. Coosdale gets under and pops it in the air. That's coming back and out of play. In the second row, his swingle was almost there. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. You have to condone Steve Swingle for falling it the whole way. The ball appeared like it was coming out, way out. The wind brings it in, but it rounds up in the second row. Wind blowing right to left at a pretty heavy clip on this sunny evening in the capital city of Nebraska of Lincoln. The 0-2, Coosdale lunges for it, chops it to third. Tinbrink tries to barehand it and comes up empty, and Robbie Coosdale with a 2-out single. It would have been a tough play as that was parallel with the pitcher's mound and third base. I mean, that's the danger zone of the infield. Of course, the danger zone of the outfield is shallow to mid in all the corners and even in dead center. And right there, Nate Tinbrink charging. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Luis Allen steps in now. Allen is 1 for 1 after he singled in the first. Coosdale's base hit. That just happened. Was the second base run of the day, given up by Cooper. The only other one was Luis Allen in the first. First pitch down as Coosdale runs. Swingle, no throw. As Robbie Coosdale is in there to steal a bag against his former team. It's also Coosdale's 8th stolen base of the season. Half and half. 4 happening here in Lincoln, 4 happening in Kansas City. 1-0 to Allen. As Cooper comes set. Runner on second and 2 down. Breaking ball high and outside. Allen ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. We're still scoreless here in the bottom of the third in what's got the make even early pitcher's duel. Luis Allen does have a championship in the American Association, winning in 2012 when he hit .317 for Winnipeg. The 2-0. Allen gets under it and sends it out to center field. Massey looking for it in the sun, but it's shallow enough. Vladimir Frias brings it in for the 3rd out. Lincoln gets 1 runner on. They strand him at second. We're still scoreless through 3 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. So we'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters at the heart of the lineup for Kansas City: Rodriguez, Blackwood, and Massey. Starlin Rodriguez steps in. Rodriguez is 0 for 1 day after grounding back to the pitcher in the first. Righty versus righty, first pitch. Rodriguez shows bunt, pulls it back. It's high, 1-0. Rodriguez was a late addition to the T-Bones. I mean, he was signed at the start of the year, but he couldn't get here as he was having troubles with his visa in Cuba, or the Dominican Republic, I should say, actually, as he chops that foul, 1-1. Ever since he's come over, he's done a great job as he's batting .263, but he has scored plenty of runs, scoring 23 and bringing in 14. 0-1-1. Rodriguez goes low for it and lines it foul down the third baseline. 2-1. 1-2, I should say. Rodriguez spent time in the not the Colorado Rockies, the St. Louis Cardinals organization, as I am all sorts of messed up today. Whoever's listening is probably saying how it's like this every day. And I'd love to disagree with you, but I can't. It's the 1-2. Rodriguez goes down swinging for the first out. As Jake Blackwood steps in now, looking to continue his 6-game hitting streak. He was walked in the second. And then he was thrown out by his former teammate Robbie Coosdale on the tag-up, as Blackwood is already at second when Tyler Massey sent a ball that should not have been caught by Coosdale, but he did, covering what I would have to guess is about 90 feet. And then throwing Blackwood out at first as Blackwood was at second. First pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. Jake Blackwood played his college ball at Maple Woods Community College. He spent every year in the American Association with Kansas City except for one when he went to Winnipeg in 2014. Yep, 14. His previous stint in the pinball was in the San Diego Padres organization. He reached as high as AA with them in 2012 and 2013. In 2013 with them, he batted .259 with 7 home runs and 61 RBIs. 0-1-1. Bounces 2-1. Blackwood was signed by the Padres after an incredible 2010 season with Kansas City, when he batted .331 with 31 home runs and 86 RBIs, stealing 16 bases along the way. The 2-1 is inside, 3-1. Jake Blackwood has hit 56 career home runs with Kansas City. He pops out a mile in the air. Earp's waving everybody off. Tyler Massey comes on now. He's 0 for 1 today. And he had a shot that was right center, but Robbie Coosdale, getting an excellent jump off the bat, brought it in and ran about 90 feet to do so. First pitch is low but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Tyler Massey is a native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, where he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies in the 14th round in 2008. As that's low, and the count's now even at 1. Tyler Massey is still young at 26 years old, and he spent every season in a professional ball except for this season in the Colorado Rockies organization. He screams a liner to short. And off the ground, Moreno picks it up and fires to first. As the T-Bones go down in order. And we're still scoreless through 3.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as we see the former Red Sox farmhand Brandon Jacobs lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. We'll see the heart of the lineup for Lincoln, the 3, 4, and 5, Jacobs, Leverett, and Darby. First pitch, righty versus righty from Cooper. Jacobs pulls it to third. Tinbrink hits his knees. High throw. That's Pyam. Jacobs doesn't advance. It'll be interesting to see how they rule that. It's going to have to be an error, you'd have to think, as Jacobs would have been thrown out by Tinbrink. So we wait on official word. They do call it an error on Nate Tinbrink, his second error in this series. He made a costly error yesterday in the bottom of the eighth. Tried to throw the runner out at home, and he would have by a mile, but he threw it about halfway up the backstop as Brandon Jacobs reaches on the E5. That brings them Rene Leverett, the dangerous Panda, is 0 for 1 today. I call him a Panda because he looks like Pablo Pando Sandoval. Jacobs checks on the runner who shouldn't be on. Jacobs back standing. Rene Leverett spent a large part of his career in the Minnesota Twins organization. As Cooper checks on it, Jacobs diving back. It's closer this time, but he's back safely. Leverett was with the Twins from 2006 to 2009. And he spent, it appears to be, 4 years with Quebec in the Can-Am League. Played last season for Amarillo. That's a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Last season with Amarillo, Leverett batted .290 with 12 home runs and 74 RBIs, picking up 7 stolen bases. And when you look at him, you're going to look to see that his stature, to put it nicely, is a little misleading. He does have speed as he leads Lincoln in stolen bases with 4. Cooper checks on Jacobs at first. Jacobs is back diving. So far this season, he's batting .323 with 6 home runs and 33 RBIs, picking up those 4 stolen bases along the way, only being caught once. He gets on base and sees the ball well, walking 34 times while striking out only 24. The 0-1, Leverett fouls down the third baseline. Counts now 0 balls, 2 strikes. During his last season in the Twins organization, which was high in Fort Myers, he batted .286 with 5 home runs and 38 RBIs, and that was in 2009, back when he was 23 years old. 7 years later, I'm talking about him here at Haymarket Park. Infield playing at double play depth. Outfield straight up, Rodriguez shaded slightly deep and left. Cooper checks on Jacobs at first yet again. Jacobs does have 2 stolen bases this season, but Lincoln hardly ever goes, stealing only 24 bases this season, which is the least. Leverett is fooled by the breaking ball as he thought fastball the whole way. He goes down swinging for the first out. As that curveball from Jordan Cooper was the definition of nasty. As Rene Leverett was already swinging when the ball was about halfway to the home plate. That brings up Austin Darby, who's 0 for 1 today after flying out to center field in the second. Infield still at double play depth. Outfield still straight up. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0. Austin Darby has called Haymarket Park home for the past 5 years now, playing all 4 of his college seasons at the University of Nebraska, which also calls Haymarket Park home. First pitch, second pitch I should say actually, is lined the shot down the right field line. It's foul. If it was fair, it'd be a home run, but it's out of play. Counts even at 1. During Austin Darby's time with the Cornhuskers, he finds himself ranking in the top 20 on the all-time hits list with 226. He hit .291 during his career playing in the Big Ten. Cooper checks on Jacobs again. It's by Blackwood. And Jacobs will advance to second. He rounds second, but Wiley gets to it as Brandon Jacobs advances on the error by Jordan Cooper. When Jacobs was running, he dove back and kind of got tied up with Blackwood. Blackwood tried to get him up as fast as possible. Fans thought Blackwood was laying on him, but he wasn't. Next pitch is outside, 2-1. Jacobs still had plenty of time to get the second. The 2-1, Darby sends it down the left field line and foul and out of play on the grass berm. We're now even at 2. Jordan Cooper taking his time with the runner on for second. 1 out. We're still scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th with the count even at 2 to Austin Darby. Cooper steps off and looks back in. The 2-2. Darby fouls off the plate. Will remain here even at 2. Some fans have found their seats, and the crowd has grown to a point. There's still plenty of empty rows, but they're a pretty quiet crowd. And they haven't had much to cheer for in this pitcher's duel as Darby grounds a two-hopper to Wiley. Wiley ranging to his left, fires to Blackwood for the second out. Jacobs advances to third, but the sacrifice is no longer in order as a base hit scores him, and that's all that can score him. With Tyler Earps finding his way into the box. Tyler Earps is also from the ACCAC, from the powerhouse of Yavapai College. First pitch is a breaking ball in there. No balls, one strike. Yavapai winning the Junior College World Series this season. And Tyler Earps was a huge part of that back in 2012 when he played in the All-Star game for them. He's also an all-league selection as a shortstop in high school from Elk Grove, California. Fouls the next pitch back. No balls, two strikes. During his senior season at Old Dominion, he hit .412 in the CUSA tournament. He was named All-Tournament. He hit .478 in all the postseason. He is a 5'11", 185 infielder. That started the season in Wichita as he lines a shot down the right field line, just foul. Bat splinters, he'll go for a new one. Still behind, no balls, two strikes. Last season, Tyler Earps played with Amarillo, where he batted .223 with 1 home run and 13 RBIs and 157 at-bats. During his time earlier this season with Wichita, he only had 34 at-bats and picked up 1 RBI while batting .176. Earps goes down swinging for the third out as Lincoln had a runner on third, but they leave him there thanks to 2 strikeouts from Jordan Cooper. And we're still scoreless through 4 here at Haymarket Park on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground. No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as Nate Tenbrink will get things started for Kansas City. We'll see the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Tenbrink, Swingle, and Frias due up for the T-Bones in the 5th inning. First pitch to Tenbrink. It was outside, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Tenbrink is 0 for 1 today after flying out to his old buddy Coosdale in center field. Nate Tenbrink is a former Wildcat. As that same spot breaking ball called strike. Tenbrink behind early. No balls, 2 strikes. Tinbrink was drafted in the 7th round of the 2008 draft by the Seattle Mariners. That's outside, 1-2. He's a native of Olathe, Kansas, and he comes in this year at 29 years old. Last season for Kansas City, he couldn't have played better. In 361 at-bats, he batted .335 as he fouls that back, 1-2. He also hit 7 round trippers with 52 RBIs while stealing 17 bases. That was his first season away from affiliated ball when he reached AAA with the Mariners in 2014. And during his time there in 76 at-bats, he batted .237 with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs, scoring only 8 runs. 2-2 now to Tinbrink. As the 2-2 is low and out of the glove of Wiggins, the count's now full. In the offseason, Nate Tinbrink is the owner of the Kansas City Fieldhouse, which is a training facility just like the Mazzarelli factory, as Tinbrink hits it off the end of his bat back to the pitcher's mound on the soft hopper for the first out. Because that ball couldn't have been hit any softer. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Tinbrink, more of just the bat, as it almost did a one-hopper, and it even brought O'Sullivan just kind of, I think it took him aback of how softly it was hit back to the mound. Because typically we see the screamers back to the mounds. But that one finds his glove for the first out. Now 6 straight T-Bones have been retired. We see Steve Swingle come to the plate. Swingle is 0 for 1 today, flying out to left field in the 3rd. Kansas City has 1 hit to this point, while Lincoln has 2. They've been helped out by 2 T-Bones errors, but we're still scoreless. Swingle swings at a breaking ball way out of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Righty versus lefty, the switch hitting Swingle. The 0-2 is outside. Counts now 1-2. No action in either bullpens, and rightfully so, as both starting pitchers have showed their stuff today. The 1-2 is outside. Swingle clawing back in this count. We're now even at 2. When Ryan O'Sullivan is behind in the count, which the count's even here, like it matters, as Swingle sends it out to left field. Jacobs retreating on the track, brings it in for the second out. That brings up Vladimir Frias, who is 1 for 1 today, picking up the only T-Bones hit to this point when he doubled in the 3rd, but was left at second base. Followed by Dalton Wheat flying out. Tyson Gillies then walked, and then Brett Wiley grounded out to end the inning. Comes up now in the 5th inning with his second opportunity to pick up his second hit. First pitch is a fastball, high and outside, 1-0. Kansas City has only seen just a little bit of Ryan O'Sullivan out of the stretch. But his stretch delivery is Vladimir Frias. Grounds that hard to short. Shortstop grounds out to shortstop for the 3rd out. We'll leave it there with the T-Bones and the Salt Dogs still scoreless through 4.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. We'll see the bottom of the order due up for the Salt Dogs here in the fifth. So 7, 8, 9, Marrera, Wiggins, and Takel. First pitch, righty versus righty to Marrera. The fastball, it touches the outer half. Called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Marrera sends it out to shallow left. Rodriguez travels and brings it in for the first out. As everybody here thought that was going to drop, but Starlin Rodriguez getting a great jump puts him away. Neither pitcher going to be throwing a no-hitter. That already established with Kansas City having 1 hit, Lincoln having 2. But they've both thrown great. Jordan Cooper has gone 4 1/3 so far, only giving up 2 hits and striking out 3 of the 16 batters he's faced. Ryan Wiggins comes on now. Wiggins was one of those strikeouts. He's 0 for 1, striking out swinging in the third. Fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. Breaking ball inside, just a little too inside. Counts now even at 1. Wiggins was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 46th round in high school, but he decided to not go for it and went with his hometown team, the University of Washington. In Seattle, as the breaking ball is on the outer half, called strike. Wiggins doesn't like it, but I love it, 1-2. He did have a brief stint with the Angels, and last season with Lincoln, he batted .229 in 170 at-bats, picking up 3 home runs and 30 RBIs. As Wiggins goes down looking on the breaking ball at 77 from Cooper for the second out. Wiggins' second strikeout of the game. Cooper's 4th. That brings up Connor Takel. Takel is 0 for 1 today after flying out to left field in the third. First pitch to Takel is low, 1-0. Connor Takel calls Sugarland, Texas home. And he stayed in state, playing his college ball at Rice University in Houston. Next pitch is high, 2-0. Rice is also where Mark Haynes is from. And thankfully so, as the T-Bones found him, as he's been named to his first career All-Star game this season with a lot of hard work. He's the one that deserves it, and I'm happy he's got it. A big congratulations goes out to the Haynes family and Mark. The 2-0 is low, 3-0. Connor Takel comes from an athletic family. His father was a football letterman at the University of Houston back in '83 and '84. He had a great uncle, Jerry Harris, who lettered in football at Rice in the 50s and won the 1956 George Martin Award as the most valuable member of the team. His older brother, Trevor, was also a pitcher for Rice as Takel walks. First walk of the game for Cooper. And it's always something that makes you grate your teeth when you walk the 9-hitter. That's exactly what happened, and that brings up the former T-Bone Robbie Coosdale, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the third and then stole second. His 8th stolen base of the season, his 4th with Lincoln, as he had 4 with Kansas City in the first half of the season. Be righty versus righty. The leadoff hitter from Lincoln, Coosdale. Jordan Cooper comes set. Swingle sets up outside. The first pitch is low, 1-0. Infield playing straight up. Tinbrink guarding the line down the third baseline. Though 1-0, a breaking ball too low, 2-0. Robbie Coosdale played at High Point University and Valdosta State. He's a native of Durham, North Carolina. That's in there, 2-1. He started at High Point playing 2 years, then finished at Valdosta State. In his junior year at Valdosta State, he batted .286 with 6 home runs and 36 RBIs. In his college career, he had 10 home runs altogether. He stole 11 bases in his final 2 years. His freshman year, he stole 18. He signed with Lake Erie in the Frontier League and played for John Mazzarelli. His only season away from John Mazzarelli is, I guess, this half of the season. And then in 2013, when he played with Juliet and batted .125 and only 24 at-bats. And he found his way to Kansas City in 2014 and had been with them since he was sent to Lincoln. As that's past a diving Tinbrink down the third baseline. That's in that corner. Rodriguez cuts it off. Robbie Coosdale is in there. Takel advances to third as Coosdale picks up his second hit against his former team. He takes care of the easy parts of the cycle, getting the single and the double out of the way. And there'll be runners on second and third with 2 down. Bill Sobey will come out and talk to Cooper. And we're going to take a break with them. Stay tuned to the T-Bones Broadcast Network with runners on second and third, 2 down. We're still scoreless.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as Luis Allen steps in. He's 1 for 2 today. First pitch to Allen as a fastball right on the corner. No balls, 1 strike. Allen singled in the first, then popped up to shortstop to end the third inning. He comes on now with runners on second and third, no one out, with 2 down, actually. We're still scoreless. The 0-1, Allen checks a swing. First base umpire, Jordan Sandberg, says he doesn't go, which he didn't. Counts even at 1. Righty versus righty. Cooper comes up with the 1-1. Fastball that must have been low. 2-1. Like I've said multiple times, if the umpire and I switched spots, I'm sure he'd be saying the same thing about me. Cooper comes set. Swingle sets up outside. 2-1. Allen sends it down the third baseline, but just barely foul. And they count even at 2. Swingle wanted it outside, but Cooper gets an inside on Allen's hands, and thankfully Allen fouls it off. Allen does love to pull the ball. He has ambush power, but he does have a problem hitting the off speed. And off speed, he lunges for it. That's going to be in shallow center. Massey lost it in the sun for a second. That's going to score 1, 2. Throw to the plate. It's too late. And Coosdale's in as Luis Allen picks up a 2-run single as the T-Bones trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up the 3-hole hitter, Brandon Jacobs, who's 0 for 2 today. He reached into the 4th on an error by Nate Tinbrink. And then he advanced to 2nd on the pickoff move error by Jordan Cooper. First pitch to Jacobs, hits him on the shoulder. Actually looks like it hit him in the mouth as something drops. And he hits the ground, and this is not good. As I initially thought it hit Jacobs in the left shoulder, but it looks as if it hit him in the face. And right when I saw him cover his mouth, I saw something fall out. Grim scene here in Lincoln, with the trainers immediately bringing out a towel for blood. Never like to see anybody get hurt. As Cooper had been struggling with his control in this inning. It appears that one just got away from him. Whoever comes in the game for Brandon Jacobs, or if Jacobs stays in the game, it'll be runners on 1st and 2nd as Steve Swingle comes over to check on Jacobs. Jacobs on his knees with the trainers attending to him. That high heater just hit him in the side of the face. And he immediately felt the pain. They're looking at the left side of his jaw, stabilizing his neck. He's up on his knees, so he is conscious and knowing what's going on. Bring out the water to wipe away the blood. He spits it out, and I just see a bunch of blood coming out in that water. Rene Leverett checking on his teammate with the coaching staff and training staff surrounding him. T-Bones infield all staring at Jacobs, as it appears everybody else in the park is as well. I saw the trainer point to his teeth, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if 1 or maybe even 2, maybe even 3, maybe even 4 had been knocked out. We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors, with Jacobs still being attended to by the training staff. Stay tuned to the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The good news is that Brandon Jacobs stays in the game as he goes to first, but that puts runners on first and second with 2 down. If he took that fastball to the left side of his jaw, you can see him down there at first still feeling it. Jordan Cooper found his way around the pile to apologize to him. And if you know Jordan Cooper, you know he's one of the nicer guys in the entire league. It's just right that he checks on him. First pitch to Leverett is outside, 1-0. Rene Leverett is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout last time we saw him in the 4th. The 1-0, Leverett fouls back. The count's now even at 1. Leverett is a big boy here playing for Lincoln. Comes in at 6'3", 280 pounds, playing last season for Amarillo. He sends that about a mile in the air to center field. Massey looking for it, brings it in for the 3rd out. But not before Lincoln gets on the board, thanks to a 2-run single by Luis Allen that scored Coosdale and Takel, as the T-Bones trail 2-0. Through 5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as Dalton Wheat leads things off here in Lincoln. As the T-Bones trail 1-2-0, so we get set to begin the 6th. Wheat fouls the first pitch off. Wheat is 0 for 1 today, and his only plate appearance to this point, he flew out to left field in the 3rd. The day is done for Brandon Jacobs, as John Smith is coming to the game to play left field. Wheat fouls it off once again. Counts no balls, 2 strikes. Austin Darby stays in right. Robbie Coosdale stays in center, with the only exception being John Smith in left. We'll start something new that I'm trying to start now. It's called the segment of This Day in Baseball History. As the 0-2 is outside, 1-2. Back in 1984, Toronto established a team record for runs scored in an inning when 11 players crossed the plate at the Kingdome way back in the day. In the 9th inning, the Blue Jays barrage in the final frame leads to an eventual 12-7 victory over Seattle. Outside again, counts even at 2. Of course, Toronto, that same explosiveness this season, as they called that Little League Park north of the border the Rogers Center home. They have Josh Donaldson, Edwin Encarnacion, Jose Batista. Troy Tulowitzki is one that you can't forget about, as Dalton Wheat fouls it off. Count still 2-2. And they currently lead the major leagues in runs scored, doing the same last season, giving the Royals fits in the postseason. They were not good enough to defeat the Royals, though. That's what I like to tell anybody that I ever see wearing a Blue Jays hat. Wheat pulls that down the right field line and singles to lead off the inning. That puts a runner on first with no one down as the T-Bones trail 2-0 here in the 6th. That brings the top of the order, Tyson Gillies, to the plate. Gillies is 0 for 1 today, grounding out in the first. He walked in the third, but was eventually stranded at first. As O'Sullivan has looked good on his time on the mound as well, that being only the 4th base runner he's allowed on the Wheat single. Also in 1987, Don Mattingly tied a major league record when he is credited with 22 putouts, as Gilly shows bunt and fouls it off, no balls, 1 strike. He's credited with those 22 putouts in the Yankees' 7-1 victory in the Metrodome. And Donnie Baseball matched the 1-game record established in 1906 by Hal Chase, another Bronx Bomber that also played first base. Don Mattingly, of course, went on to manage the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he had a very fine first baseman while he was there as well. Someone who got close to that as well. Adrian Gonzalez, who once recorded 18 putouts. As Gilly sends that out to deep left, getting John Smith in the game early. That's over the fence and gone, which ties the game at 2 as Tyson Gillies hits his 2nd round tripper of the year, 2nd of the road trip, to tie the game at 2. And he hustles so far around the bag that he almost beat Dalton Wheat to the plate. He beats him to the dugout as we're tied at 2. Thanks to that round tripper, 2-run round tripper with no one out by Tyson Gillies. And you can hear the air sucked out of this place by 1 swing from Gillies. That brings up Brett Wiley, who is 0 for 2 today, with a fly out and a ground out in the 3rd. First pitch at the corner infield playing in is on the outer half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. And in 2006, in a 26-inning New York Penn League game, which takes 6 hours, 40 minutes to complete, the 0-1 outside, we're even at 1. At Keyspan Park in Coney Island, the Oneonta Tigers outlasted the hometown Brooklyn Cycle in 6-1. Mark Wright, a reserve outfielder, was the losing pitcher as Wiley swings and misses 1-2 in the 3rd longest game by innings in professional baseball history. I believe the longest one this season for Kansas City was 14 innings. And I don't know how I would continue talking throughout a 26-inning game. I know all of you would get tired of me in 26 innings as Wiley chops a 2-hopper to second base. Second baseman grounds out to second baseman for the first out. I'm surprised many of you can last 9 innings with me. Nonetheless, 26, as you have to tip your hat to anybody that was a part of that game. Also in 1976, and probably the biggest thing that happened on this day in baseball history, and the final thing I'll talk about, was Hank Henry Aaron hit his last big league home run off Angels hurler Dick Drago en route to a 6-2 Brewers win. The round tripper was Hammer and Hanks. 755th home run and established the all-time major league record for career home runs. The 1-0 is swung on by Rodriguez. He comes up empty. Counts even at 1 with 1 out as the T-Bones are tied at 2 thanks to a Tyson Gillies 2-run round tripper with no one out. 2 batters ago. The 1-1 is low and outside. 2-1 now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez is 0 for 2, striking out swinging. Last time we saw him in the 4th. The 2-1 is grounded on a soft ground ball to second. Rodriguez runs it out, but still beat out by the throw. Back-to-back 4-3 putouts send the T-Bones down with 2 down. That brings up Jake Blackwood out of the 4-hole. Blackwood is 0 for 1 today. Popping up to second base. Last time we saw him in the 4th. He was walked in the 2nd before he was tossed out by his old buddy Robbie Coosdale. As Blackwood tried to return to the bag, but couldn't in time. First pitch to Blackwood was a fastball right down Broadway. No swing, no balls, 1 strike. Blackwood grounds a soft ground ball to the second baseman. So 3 straight 4-3 putouts send the T-Bones down, but not before they get the 2 runs back to tie the game. Thanks to a 2-run round tripper by Tyson Gillies, his 2nd of the year, that scored Dalton Weed as well. And it's a brand new ball game with the game tied at 2 through 5.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We'll see the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Salt Dogs. It'll be Darby, Earps, and Morera. First pitch to Darby is outside, 1-0. Tyson Gillies retied the game at 2 thanks to that 2-run round tripper last inning. Lincoln also scored in the bottom of the 5th, scoring 2 runs. Coosdale was one of the ones that came around to score. So we're tied 2-2 with the 1-0. Darby pops it in the air and tails out of play. We're even at 1. So far today, Austin Darby is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out last time we saw him in the 4th. Last night, Austin Darby went 0 for 3, but he did bat a run in. The 1-1 is inside, 2-1. Last inning as well, Brandon Jacobs took a fastball off the jaw from Jordan Cooper, one that just got away from the even-headed Jordan Cooper. He has been brought out of the game. As Darby pops that straight in the air, Vladimir Frias be tasked with bringing it in. He'll pitch a tent, start a fire, and camp for it to come down for the first down. The game tied at 2. Tyler Earps steps into the box. He's 0 for 2 today with strikeout swinging. Last time we saw him in the 4th. Earps, the former Yavapai Rough Rider. First pitch to Earps is in the zone. No balls, 1 strike. Prior to Tyler Earps' professional career, he played 2 years each at Yavapai College and Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. The California native hit .253 during his senior year at Old Dominion. Was named to the Conference USA All-Tournament team after hitting over 400 during the 2014 tournament. So it appears that Lincoln really likes to dig into the CUSA, as that's also where they got Connor Takel, but from Rice. Next pitch is in the dirt. Counts now even at 1. Nate Tinbrink playing in on the grass at third. Rest of the team playing straight up to Earps, who's batting .217. The 1-1. Earps sends that to right field. Dalton Wheat on his horse. Diving play. Does he make it? No, he does not. And Tyler Earps is in there with a 1-out double, but not for a lack of effort by Dalton Wheat, who ran 90 feet, leaves his feet, and fully extends on the dive, but just cannot make the play as it went in and out of his glove, as Tyler Earps is in there with a double with 1 out. If Dalton Wheat makes that play, we're talking play of the year for the T-Bones, but it just comes out of his glove. And that brings up Diner Morera, who is 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts, flying out to left in the 5th, which was the last time we saw him. First pitch is high, 1-0. Comes on now with the runner in scoring position and 1 down, with the game tied at 2. Infield and outfield both playing straight up. Kansas City with their black tops, gray pants with the oxblood lettering for the second day in a row. Lincoln also for the second day in a row wearing their all whites with the blue lettering. The 1-0. Morera sends up the middle. Massey charging. They're going to hold the runner at third with Massey's cannon of an arm. Blackwood cuts it off. It'll be runners on the corners now with 1 down. So a double and a single back-to-back. Puts runners on the corners now with 1 down for Ryan Wiggins. Wiggins is 0 for 2 today, striking out in the only 2 ways he can. Striking out swinging in third and striking out looking in the 5th. And a strikeout here would be astronomical for Jordan Cooper. In Cooper's last outing, which was July 15th at Laredo, a game that Lincoln lost 1-0, he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He does have 58 strikeouts. Well, he struck out 58 times last season, 35 so far this season. Those 35 strikeouts are 3rd on the team. First pitch is fouled back by Wiggins. No balls, 1 strike. Last night with Kansas City's 4-3 victory, they took a lead in the season series, taking 4 out of 7 so far. Still have 2 more to go if you count this one. In 2015, Kansas City won the season series 6-4 over the Salt Dogs. Righty versus righty as the umpire calls time. All time in Lincoln, if Kansas City sweeps this series, which would be their first sweep of the season, they would come even at 28 games apiece. Kansas City is 26 and 28 during the time here at Haymarket Park against the Salt Dogs. The 0-1 is on the outer half, called strike, no balls, 2 strikes. Kansas City took a lead in the all-time series, 49-48, with last night's victory as well. Last time we were here, Kansas City took the first 2 games. Jared Messer picked up the win in that first game. Ryan O'Sullivan actually, took the loss in that game. And then Josh Tolles picked up the win in the second game, a game the T-Bones would win 2-0. Lindsey Coggy, who is the league's ERA and strikeouts leader, picked up the loss as Wiggins comes up swinging an empty on the next pitch, and Mark Haynes picked up the save in that. Mark Haynes picked up the save last night, his 12th, and he was named as an American Association All-Star, which was announced today. 0-2 with runners on the corner, 1 out, game tied at 2. The 0-2 is high, 1-2. As all 3 of the outfielders for the T-Bones, from left to right, Rodriguez, Massey, and Wheat, each have what you would call a cannon of an arm. In one game early this year against Fargo, or maybe it was St. Paul, they all kind of mix in as Ryan Wiggins is fooled by the breaking ball that brings him to a knee by Jordan Cooper for the strikeout, his 3rd of the game, as he's got the hat trick going and the big time second out. As he gets an earful from the coach when he finds his way down the steps into the dugout. That brings up Connor Takel, who was 0 for 1 today, flying out to left field in the 3rd. He was walked in the 5th and came around to score the first run as part of that 2-run single by Luis Allen. Well, we're tied at 3 with runners on the corners and 2 down as he steps in out of the 9-hole. Righty versus lefty, Cooper being the righty. First pitch is fouled back by the former Rice Owl, Connor Takel. Infield playing straight up, Blackwood holding the runner on first. Outfield straight up as well. The 0-1 is high and outside, and we're now even at 1. This is the 4th career game for Connor Takel. In his first 2 games, they were both multi-hit games, going 2 for 3 at Laredo in the series' second game, scoring a run and picking up an RBI in his first career at bat. As he sends that out to right field, Wheat still retreating on the warning track, brings it in for the 3rd out. As back-to-back hits are stranded on base by Lincoln, and we're still tied at 2 through 6 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites and traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As one of the 2 lefties in the pen for Lincoln is out there to pitch now, which shuts the door on Ryan O'Sullivan's fantastic day. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned thanks to 1 swing by Tyson Gillies. He also walked 2 and struck out 1. First batter he'll face is the dangerous Tyler Massey. We'll see the 5, 6, and 7 do up. Massey, Tinbrink, and Swingle. Tyler Massey is 0 for 2 today, flying out in the second and grounding out in the fourth. First pitch, lefty to lefty, is low, 1-0. With McKenzie being the other lefty in the bullpen, since Ryan Davis was thrown yesterday and threw a fantastic game, giving only 1 hit and 1 1/3, while striking out 3 as that's low, 2-0. They bring him in against this heavy lefty part of the T-Bones lineup, with Massey lefty, Tinbrink lefty, and Swingle being a switch. The 2-0 as Massey fouls it back, 2-1. So far this season, Jeff McKenzie is 2-3 with a 3.85 ERA. He made 4 starts in his 16 appearances, picked up 3 saves, and 37 1/3, struck out 14 while walking 7 a 2-1 ratio. Tyler Massey gets that in the air to center field. Off the end of his bat, Smith brings it in for the first out. In McKenzie's last outing, which is a 5-0 Salt Dogs win at Laredo on July 17th. He went 1 inning and only faced 3 batters. He has not given up a run in his last 2 outings, but when he did on July 6th, it was big as Nate Tinbrink comes up. First pitch of Tinbrink is inside, 1-0. In 3 2/3, McKenzie took the loss and game the Salt Dogs lost 4-8. He gave up 7 runs. They were all earned while allowing 12 hits. As Tinbrink sends that out to right field and out of play, foul ball, 1-1. He also walked 1, giving 12 hits to the 24 batters he faced. McKenzie was a 28th round draft pick by the Chicago White Sox in 2013 out of Cal State Bakerfield. That's low, 2-1 now to Tinbrink. Spent last season with no one, as he was out of professional baseball altogether. Spent 2 years with the Chicago White Sox. As Tinbrink lines that to second, diving play off the glove of Earps, and Nate Tinbrink is on with a 1-out single. As he's picked up hits in both of the games that he's returned from the disabled list, going 1 for 4 yesterday, and so far 1 for 3 today. And that brings up Steve Swingle, who's 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts to the left field. The highest level that McKenzie reached was single A in 2014 with Kannapolis and in the White Sox organization, where he went 3-5 in 2014 with an ERA of .560, making 10 starts, 13 total appearances, and in 62 2/3, he struck out 36 while walking 15, also accomplishing 1 complete game. First pitch to Swingle, lefty versus righty with the switch hitting Swingle's outside, 1-0. The 1-0. Swingle pops in the air to center field. Coosdale charging on it, but brought in by the right fielder Austin Darby for the second out and shallow right center. And Vladimir Frias comes up to the plate now. Frias is 1 for 2 when he doubled in third but was stranded at second at the time. And then he grounded out to the other shortstop in the 5th. Vladimir Frias was drafted twice in his lifetime. Drafted out of Chipola College in the 44th round by the Astros, but he declined and attended Tennessee Wesleyan. So he takes the first pitch and lines out to the other shortstop before I can finish my sentence for the third out. As the T-Bones get 1 hit, but they leave him on base. As we're tied at 2 through 6.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. We have a new pitcher into the game for the T-Bones by the way of Johnny Shuttlesworth, which closes the day for Jordan Cooper. Cooper went 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, while walking 1 and striking out 5. Johnny Shuttlesworth enters this matchup 2-3 on the season with a 5.65 ERA. He started the season as a regular starter for the T-Bones, making 5 starts, making 14 appearances out of the bullpen since then, as the first pitch is a slider called strike to his former buddy Robbie Coosdale. Shuttlesworth does have 1 save, and in 43 innings pitched, he struck out 41 while walking only 15. The 0-1, righty versus righty. Fastball paints the corners, no balls, 2 strikes at 93 miles an hour. Shuttlesworth was drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 28th round in 2013 out of Faulkner University in Montgomery, Alabama. This is his first season in independent ball. 0-2. Coosdale hits a soft ground ball to Tinbrink at third. Tinbrink, strong throw, gets him for the first out. That brings up Luis Allen, who's 2 for 3 today with 2 RBIs, driving in the only 2 Lincoln runs so far, as this game is tied at 2. Last season, Shuttlesworth played at AA and High A, Visalia and Mobile, and the Diamondbacks organization. Altogether, he went 3-4 and ERA of 5.91, starting 3 games out of the 33 appearances. Picked up a save, and in 53 1/3, he struck out 51 while walking 12. First pitch to Allen is low, 1-0. Had to dig back, way back, and Johnny Shuttlesworth's time in college at Faulkner University. He became the second Faulkner pitcher drafted in the past 2 years before him, when Corey Black was a high-round draft pick by the New York Yankees in the 4th round in 2007. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Johnny Shuttlesworth is a native of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And 2 weeks before, during the 2 weeks during the draft, Shuttlesworth led the Faulkner Eagles to the Avista NAIA World Series Championship in Lewiston, Idaho. here in the tournament's most valuable player honors along the way, as it's now 3-1 to Allen. During Johnny Shuttlesworth's senior season, he led the nation in the NAIA ranks. As Luis Allen gets under that and sends a shot to left field. Rodriguez still retreating at the wall. It's up and out of here as Lincoln takes a 3-2 lead. The 7th hit of the game is sent over the wall as the T-Bones trail 3-2 thanks to that 5th home run of the year, the solo shot by Luis Allen. That is the 5th home run allowed by Johnny Shuttlesworth this season. That brings up number 19, John Smith, who steps in for Brandon Jacobs, who was hit by a pitch in the face back in the 5th. First pitch to Smith, fouled back, no balls, 1 strike. The day is done for Jacobs, who went 0 for 2. He reached on an error by Nate Tinbrink in the 4th, but it was stranded at 3rd. He's hit by a pitch in the 5th and flew out to left field in the 1st. Smith comes into this at bat, batting .231 with its 2nd on the team, and 8 home runs and 30 RBIs. 1-1's the count. Last night, Smith went 1 for 4 with a run scored. Flies to left field where Rodriguez barely has to move and brings it in for the 2nd out. And now Rene Leverett steps in 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Like I was saying about Johnny Shuttlesworth, he led the NAIA in victories for the entire nation, en route to a 16-1 record and a 1.34 ERA for the Eagles in 2013. His dominance also helped lift Faulkner to both the Southern States Athletic Conference regular season and tournament titles, and the perfect 5-0 run to the World Series allowed the Eagles to finish their championship season with a 56-11 record as he went 5-0 in the postseason. First pitch to Leverett is inside, 1-0. Leverett roll tides that out of play. A little tip of the cap to the Roll Tide, Crimson Tide, Alabama fan, Johnny Shuttlesworth, the 1-1. If you ever see Johnny Shuttlesworth walking around, the funnest thing to do, and not only to him but to all Alabama fans, is to just yell War Eagle at the top of your lungs. War Eagle, of course, the slogan, motto, whatever you want to call it, for the Auburn Tigers. And it also goes both ways. When you see an Auburn fan yell Roll Tide, I did that a few years ago when the Auburn Tigers visited Manhattan, Kansas, to play the Kansas State Wildcats in football, and every Auburn fan I saw, I never said EMA or anything or Hook'em or OHIO for Ohio State or anything along those lines. It was a constant Roll Tide, even though I truly cannot stand anything about the SEC. 1-1 count to Leverett. Righty versus righty. It's in the dirt, 2-1. Kansas City trails 3-2 thanks to the solo home run by Luis Allen earlier this inning. Kansas City with 4 hits and 2 errors. Lincoln with 7 hits, no errors. Next pitch is in the dirt. Leverett has a pitch to play with. Ahead, 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. Leverett rolls it foul, just foul. And now the count is full. On deck for Lincoln is number 41, Austin Darby. Payoff pitch is fouled off by Leverett. Will remain here full. Leverett, guess what? Fouls it off again. Guess what? Will remain, guess what? Full. That's in the dirt, and now Leverett will walk with 2 down. Which opens the door for the former Cornhusker Austin Darby, who has called this his home ballpark for 5 years, playing 4 years at Nebraska. During his time there, he was a 4-year letterman. He was a part of the All-Big Ten freshman team in 2012. In 2015, he was the Houston College Classic All-Tournament team. In 2012, he's the Dairy Queen Classic All-Tournament team. I get the feeling that it's the same, just different names. In 2015, he's a Big Ten Distinguished Honor Scholar as Leverett steals. Swingle can't get it out of his glove, and Rene Leverett extends his stolen base lead to 5. Putting a runner on second with 2 down. A 1-0. Darby sends it up the middle. The 2-hopper to Frias. Frias plays it off the hop. High throw. Blackwood keeps his foot on the bag for the 3rd out. But not before Lincoln retakes the lead thanks to a solo home run by Luis Allen as the T-Bones trail 3-2 through 7. Here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Dalton Wheat will get things started here. McKenzie still out on the mound for Lincoln. First pitch to Wheat is low, 1-0. Dalton Wheat is 1 for 2 today, singling in the first and the second. And then coming around to score as part of that 2-run home run by Tyson Gillies. Next pitch is low, 2-0 to Wheat. Dalton Wheat's professional career started out nicely, going 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly and an RBI against the Wichita Wingnuts. So he sends that out to shallow right field. That'll drop, and the speedy Dalton Wheat is on with back-to-back singles for him to lead off the 8th inning. T-Bones trail 2-3. And the man responsible for those 2 runs, Tyson Gillies, steps in. Gillies is 1 for 2 today. He grounded out in the first. He walked in the third, and then he launched a 2-run home run to the opposite field over the left field fence. His second of the season, which tied the game at 2. Since then, Luis Allen hit a solo home run for Lincoln to take the 3-2 lead. He shows bunt on the first pitch. It's in the dirt, 1-0. I was going to say about Dalton Wheat, he's had a very successful college career. He hit .391 in his senior season at Emporia State with 7 home runs, 62 RBIs, 62 runs scored, and 19 stolen bases. And what's really crazy is that he reached base safely in his last 30 games for the Hornets, who went 39-19 and advanced to the NCAA Division II Central Regional Tournament. He was also the 29th Hornet to sign a professional contract under their 13-year head coach, Bob Fornelli. Called strike is in there now to Gillies. Gillies rolls over and fouls it back. Now he's behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyson Gillies was born north of the border in Vancouver, Canada, then came down for college, spending 1 season at Iowa Western Community College before he was drafted in the 25th round by the Seattle Mariners in 2006. Gillies sends it out to deep center field. Robbie Cousdale ranging to his right, still running, brings it in on the warning track for the first out. Tyson Gillies just missing that fastball from McKenzie. That's the first out as Brett Wiley steps in now. Wiley, oddly enough, is hitless today. He's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a flyout. Jeff McKenzie's best pitch is really just a match of his fastball and his slider. When he gets behind in the count, he's going to throw that fastball, which tops out at 88. Runner goes. Dalton Wheat slides in over the back, keeps his foot on, and he has stolen second with 1 out. Called strike is in there to Brett Wiley. That is the first stolen base of Dalton Wheat's career. And with this speedster and a kid with a great head on his shoulders, there's going to be plenty more to go around. That makes him 1 for 3 in his stolen base attempts this season. Brett Wiley sends that to the opposite field, to left field, where John Smith steps in 2 steps and brings it in for the second out. It seems like for the second day in a row, this game against Lincoln is going to come down to whoever is hitting last. It's not what happened last night, as Kansas City took the late 4-3 lead. As it appears McKenzie's going to get the hook from skipper Bobby Brown, who was tossed out of last night's action, by the way, and an F-bomb tirade. And that's the only way that it can be described. He's back today. And the door is open in the Lincoln bullpen. We'll be back with these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned to the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Clayton Cook, the former Indians farmhand, is on to throw now for the Salt Dogs. Connor Cook being a former teammate of Anthony Gallus and Jordan Cooper during his time with the Cleveland Indians organization. First batter he'll face is Starlin Rodriguez, who's 0 for 3. First pitch to Rodriguez is outside, 1-0. So far this season, Connor Cook has only made 5 appearances, 5 innings pitched, has yet to allow any runs, while striking out 8 and only walking 1. Watching him warm up on the radar gun is blowing up at 95, 94 consistently, as that one's at 93 and high. Rodriguez way behind it, counts even at 1. Last season, in the Cleveland and Atlanta organization, reaching as high as AA, he went 4-2 with a 5.01 ERA, making 3 starts and 25 total appearances. And in 46 2/3, he struck out 31 while walking 34. Next pitch is low, 2-1. Clayton Cook was drafted by the Cleveland Indians in the 9th round of the 2008 draft out of Amarillo High School in Amarillo, Texas. Still relatively young, yet 25 years old. He comes set with the 2-1. It's inside. Rodriguez has the pitch to play with. That's at 97 miles an hour. The count now 3-1. Three-1 is fouled back. He was out of the zone at 96. The count's now full. On deck for Kansas City's number 10, Jake Blackwood, the payoff pitch. Rings Rodriguez up, looking for the third and final out as Kansas City strands a runner on second off 1 hit, and it's Dalton Wheat. T-Bones still trail 3-2 through 7.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The 6, 7, 8 hitters are due up for Lincoln. Tyler Earps will get things started. Earps is 1 for 3. He doubled in the 6th, but was stranded at third. First pitch to Earps is in there. No balls, 1 strike. Elsewhere in the American Association, Laredo and Gary played earlier. Gary won that one in 10 innings, 5-4. Next pitch is low, counts even at 1. At Lewis Clark Park, Sioux City leads Joplin 2-1. St. Paul and Winnipeg are currently in a rain delay as that's a called strike, 1-2. St. Paul leading that one 3-0. At Air Hogs Stadium, they're in the top of the 7th, and Wichita and Texas are both knotted up at 3. And at Sioux Falls Stadium, Fargo has a 1-0 lead over the Canaries of Sioux Falls. Pitch in the dirt is blocked, and the count's now even at 2. Kansas City trailing 3-2. They had the 2-2 tie thanks to a 2-run home run by Tyson Gillies. Has the 2-2 on its way. Earp sends that out to the gap in right center. Tyler Massey gets to it quickly and just allows the single to lead off the 8th. Like I was saying, that solo home run by Luis Allen in the 7th has been the difference maker with Kansas City trailing 3-2. Lincoln has picked up 8 hits, while T-Bones have picked up 5. T-Bones have also committed 2 errors to Lincoln's none. First pitch to Dinar Morera is actually a pickoff move. Morera is 1 for 3 today, singling in the 6th, but stranded on first. Before that, he popped out to third base and into the left field in the 5th. Runner goes. Morera sends it out to center. Massey brings it in. Earps retreating back to first as that's 1 down. Ryan Wiggins steps in now, 0 for 3 today with a hat trick of strikeouts. And his walk-up song says, "Nothing can stop me." I think the T-Bones pitchers have stopped you today, young man. So he comes on with 1 out and a runner on first. The infield playing a double play depth, outfield playing straight up. First pitch is actually a toss-over again. Earps back standing. Blackwood slapping the tag on him. Back just in time. Shuttlesworth steps off to force Earps back to the bag. Ryan Wiggins hoping to prevent wearing the sombrero. First pitch is a fastball down the middle, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Ryan Wiggins' average has dropped to an ugly 127. He's 0 for 3 so far. The 0-1 as Shuttlesworth comes set and fires over to first. Earps back standing again. Sun has gone down here in Lincoln, but the humidity has stayed the same. The wind has died down drastically as it was blowing in a whirlwind in the first half of the game. Wiggins fouls it back. Now he's behind, no balls, 2 strikes. And the sombrero is threatening. O2 count, 1 out. T-Bones trailing 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th with the runner on first. Shuttlesworth checks on the runner again, and he is also back standing. Getting loose in the Lincoln bullpen is their closer and all-star, Evan Reed. Shuttlesworth comes set with the 0-2. Swingle set up in the middle, and Wiggins goes down swinging for the sombrero, his 4th strikeout of the game, as he's had about as bad of a day as any ball player can ever have. Connor Takel steps in now for Lincoln. Takel is 0 for 2 today with a run scored, doing that in the 5th when he was walked. Comes on now with a runner on first and 2 down with the T-Bones trailing 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be righty versus lefty. Shuttlesworth being the righty, checks on the runner at first. He's back standing. First pitch is high, 1-0 to the former Rice Owl. Shuttlesworth did return home to Alabama on 2 separate occasions. During his time in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, pitching in Mobile, Alabama. He is a native of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The same home as the Alabama Crimson Tide. Next pitch is a breaking ball outside. Could have gone either way, but called ball. Shuttlesworth doesn't like it, 2-0. Kansas City will be back to finish this series tomorrow at 6:35. All the action can be heard here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network, as that's outside, but called strike this time in the same spot, 2-1. Me, myself, and I, Sam King, will be on the call for that. First pitch due at 6:35. That's about the same time that I'll be hopping on air. 2-1 to Connor Tagle, the runner on first, 2 down. T-Bones trailing 3-2. Shuttlesworth comes set, fires home. It's high, I guess, and outside, probably, 3-1. As Tagle has a pitch to play with on deck for Lincoln is the top of the order, and former T-Bone, Robbie Coosdale. Shuttlesworth comes set 3-1 out of the stretch. Fires home, fouled back. Now the count's full. The runner will be going, which does benefit the Salt Dogs. Shuttlesworth taking his time. The payoff pitch, runner goes. Tagle sends it out to center. Should be routine as Rodriguez brings it in on the warning track. So it went farther than I thought. And we'll have the final 3 outs for the final opportunity for Kansas City. Coming up in the top of the 9th, due up in the order, is the heart of the lineup, the 4, 5, and 6, Blackwood, Massey, and Tinbrink, with the T-Bones trailing 3-2 through 8 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. It's the final opportunity for the T-Bones is here. They have 3 outs to score 1 run here in the top of the 9th as they trail 3-2. And we'll see Jake Blackwood leading things off. He can tie it with 1 swing as the first pitch to Blackwood is inside and called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Jake Blackwood already has 3 home runs during this road trip. On his career, he has 56. And I was talking to him the other day, and we were trying to decide how far he was from the career home run record. And with his 56, he's currently 4th in T-Bone's history. Eddie Pearson holds on to the lead with 69. Has 13 more home runs. 14 more home runs will actually give him the lead as Evan Reed is on. Blackwood fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes. Evan Reed is a former big leaguer and the Detroit Tigers organization. He was originally drafted by the Texas Rangers in the 3rd round of the 2007 draft out of California Polytechnic State University and San Luis Obispo. Last season, played in Amarillo, where he had an ERA of 2.79, only making 11 appearances in 9 2/3. He struck out 12 of walking 3, as that's inside the Blackwood 1-2. He has been named an All-Star this season as one of the 4 Salt Dogs to go. And rightfully so, as he's currently 2nd in the American Association in saves with 13. Mark Haynes right on his tails. Mark Haynes being named an All-Star for the T-Bones as well. Haynes picked up his 12th save last night. Though 1-2 to Blackwood. Righty versus righty. Blackwood lunges out and fouls it off and out of play. Count remains 1-2. Fan made a nice grab. And respect where respect is due. Evan Reed pitched for Detroit in 2013 and 14 in the big leagues. On his career, he went 0-2 with an ERA of 4.20 and 48 total appearances. Came out to 55 2/3. Innings pitched, he struck out 43, walking 20. The 1-2. Blackwood in defense mode fouls it off and stays alive. In 2010, Reed was part of a trade that sent him and Omar Poveda to the Florida Marlins for Jorge Cantu. Jorge Cantu being a long-time major leaguer. Gets a sign from his catcher Wiggins. Infield guarding the lines. Outfield playing back on their heels. The 1-2. Blackwood sends out to shallow right field. Darby still looking for it, but brings it in for the first out. As the T-Bones now have 2 more outs to get 1 more run. And that brings up Tyler Massey, another guy with plenty of the power. He has 5 home runs this season. Massey is 0 for 3 today. Evan Reed relies primarily on a hard 4-seam fastball in the 95 to 97 mile-an-hour range and a slider in the 81 to 85 mile-an-hour range. He also throws his 2-seam fastball around 93 to 95 miles an hour and an occasional changeup, averaging between 86 and 89. First pitch to Massey is low, 1-0. The 1-0, Massey sends over the second baseman's head, but a leaping grab brings it in for the second out as Tyler Earps, played on his heels, hops, fully extends, and squeezes it for the second out. That's how the day has gone for Kansas City as they trail 2-3 here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs and end steps. The organization's player of the year last season, Nate Tenbrink. Tenbrink is 1 for 3 today. Last season, Tenbrink had a magnificent career with Kansas City. First pitch is a called strike, where he batted .335 with 7 home runs and 52 RBIs while swiping 17 bags and scoring 67 runs on his own. On his career, he's batting .281 with 73 home runs. Next pitch is outside, 1-1. One swing from Tinbrink can tie it. Two more strikes by Reed can end it. Righty versus lefty, Tinbrink being the lefty. Chops it up the middle. The two-hopper into the glove of a ranging Marrera. Marrera throws it to first for the final out as Kansas City drops this second game of this series, 3-2. Evan Reed picks up his 14th save of the season, and Clayton Cook picks up his first win of the season for Lincoln. Taking the loss for Kansas City is Johnny Shuttlesworth, as he is 2 for 4 on the season now. We'll be right back to these messages from our sponsors with a full post game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as the T-Bones lose the second game in this series to the Lincoln Salt Dogs. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6:35 as the T-Bones look to win this series against their Central Division rivals. Kansas City's overall record now drops to 26-32 as they're back to 7.5 games back behind the Salt Dogs, who are now 33-24. Elsewhere in the American Association, with our game wrapping up in Laredo and wrapping up earlier today against Gary, a game that Gary won in 10 innings, 5-4. Joplin is still trailing Sioux City 3-1 at Lewis and Clark Park in the top of the 7th. And at Airhawk Stadium, we're still tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th between Wichita and Texas. And in the top of the 8th at Sioux Falls Stadium, Fargo still clinging to a 1-0 lead with the Canaries of Sioux Falls. Picking up the win for Lincoln was Clayton Cook. He's 1-0 on the season. Taking the loss for Kansas City is Johnny Shuttlesworth. Shuttlesworth is now 2-4. Jordan Cooper started the game for Kansas City, and he pitched mighty well, going 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, while walking 1 and striking out 5. And the starting pitcher for Lincoln was Ryan O'Sullivan. He also did just as well, going 6 innings as well, allowing only 3 hits, 2 runs, both of those coming on 1 swing from Tyson Gillies, while walking 2 and striking out 1. Then the bullpen shut down the T-Bones, as the bullpen was Jeff McKenzie, Clayton Cook, and Evan Reed. All 3 of those only allowed 2 hits, all 2 of those from Jeff McKenzie. They all threw no walks, no runs, and striking out 1, the 1 strikeout being from Clayton Cook. Kansas City's bullpen consisted of Johnny Shuttlesworth, and he came in and pitched 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run on 1 swing from Luis Allen, while walking 1 and striking 1 out. The top hitter for Lincoln is an easy choice. It's Luis Allen. He went 3 for 4 with a run scored and 3 RBIs, as he was responsible for all 3 runs that Lincoln scored in this 3-2 T-Bones loss. Former T-Bone Robbie Coosdale, the leadoff hole, played mighty fine as well, going 2 for 4 with the runs scored. Top hitter for Kansas City was Dalton Wheat out of the 9 hole. Wheat went 2 for 3 with a run scored. You could also make a case for Tyson Gillies, who went 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 RBIs with a walk. That raised his average to 289. Kansas City was trailing 2-0 for not too long as Lincoln scored in the bottom of the fifth, actually. With 2 outs, Connor Takel walked. He was followed by Robbie Coosdale double to put runners on second and third. And then Luis Allen hit a gapper that scored them both on the 2-run single. Kansas City answered in the top of the 6th inning. Dalton Wheat singled to get things going. And then he was brought home thanks to a 2-run home run by Tyson Gillies. Tyson Gillies that hit his second home run. And then 3 straight 4-3 putouts retired the T-Bones. The T-Bones had a shot in the 8th. Dalton Wheat singled and stole second to get things going. Then a fly to center, left, and a strikeout looking by Gillies, Wiley, and Rodriguez in that order ended it. And then the 3rd, we saw the heart of the lineup for Kansas City. Blockwood, Massey, and Tinbrink, the 4-5-6. And a fly out to right, line out to second, and a ground out to shortstop is what did Kansas City in. We'll be back here tomorrow at Haymarket Park on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Me, Sam King, myself, and I will be on the call for that. I apologize. It might be the last time you have to suffer through me as the T-Bones will return home, and you'll hear the familiar tunes from the vocal cords of Nathan Moore. You may also even hear Matt Folks at some point. Kansas City will look to return home after this time with the Salt Dogs for a 6-game homestand. Friday through Sunday, it'll be against the Winnipeg Goldeyes, and Monday through Wednesday, it'll be at home against Gary. And Kansas City will have an off day on Thursday, then travel north of the border to take on the Goldeyes. It's been a pleasure to call this for you. And this is Sam King signing off, telling you to stay safe out there, and thank you for listening.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at TBonesBaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.